you sit down, take your mask off, and put that in your lap. There we go. Right, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi.
Excellent. We can hear you. So, why don't you tell everyone what your name is, what school you go to, how old you are, and that sort of stuff. You can tell them all.
I am 11 years old. My name is Isla, and I go to St. Oscar Romero's Catholic School.
Okay, St. Oscar Romero's, and you're 11?
Yes.
That's very old. And you have written some articles in Seaside, haven't you? So some of you may have read some of the stuff. You can put a face to a name of some of the stuff that Isla has written in Seaside. And I know that you're really interested in the environment. So what got you interested in the environment?
At school we
Can you speak up quite a bit?
At school we started doing eco bricks, which is where you put non-reusable plastic into bottles and you send them away to other countries and they can make like houses out of them, or like the stall there that Charlie made.
Okay, so this is an eco brick, which are these bottles where you put your single-use plastic in, and this is a stall that Charlie made, which is fantastic. And also, do you want to lift up those things there as well?
Yeah.
They've been made out of plastic bottles too, haven't they?
Yeah, these bits have been made out of plastic. This is made out of an old disc, and this is an old pipe, and you can do loads of things with them.
Okay, so they're great, they are. And there's a candle holder one there as well. And, oh, don't worry. Outside is a planter that's also been made, and it's been, who's that been filled up? Those bottles have been filled up by?
Jenny.
Jenny?
Sophie, Delphi, Grace and Charlie, a lot of different people.
Okay, so lots of people have given their single-use plastic and put them in those bottles and made the planter outside. And that's part of Chatterbooks, isn't it? Quite a lot of those young people come to Chatterbooks, which is our sort of one of our junior youth groups that happens on a Tuesday. So they've been all doing this stuff. That's brilliant. So you started doing eco bricks. Then what?
Our Chatterbooks group won a prize to review a book called Hope Jones Saves the World.
Okay.
It's all about this girl who's trying to save the world, and it made us all realise that we need to make a difference and we need to help and change the environment.
Okay, Hope Jones Saves the World. If you haven't read it, you need to read it, don't they? There's a grown-up book as well by Ruth Valerio called L is for Lifestyle. I'd recommend that grown-ups read that one as well, actually, because that's got an A to Z about different things you can do to help save the planet. And she talks about, she has a bit of a scenario where she says, you get up in the morning, you make a cup of coffee, you're in a warm house, you get your milk out of the fridge, you get in your car, you go to work, and you've done all those things without even really thinking about it. But actually, they're all choices which have an impact on the environment. And she says we need to think about what our choices are in how we steward God's creation. So, what do you think other people your age think about this stuff?
I think some people care strongly and some people don't really care at all.
Okay.
Because you see people who drop litter and then you see the people who go and pick that up and put it in the bin.
So there are people your age who go and pick up litter and put it in the bin that they see other young people have dropped. That's brilliant, isn't it? I think some grown-ups could do that too, couldn't they? Yeah. And is there something else you want to say next, or shall I keep going?
You can keep going.
Okay. What do you think that God thinks about all of this?
Well, I think we're destroying his planet, and that's really disrespecting him in a way, because he created this planet.
So what are some of the practical things that we can do?
Well, I have a post here and I'll read them.
Okay, cool.
So you can buy one piece of plastic every time you do your shopping. So if you go get some oranges and they're in a plastic bag, try get the ones you can pick yourself and put them in a paper bag.
Yeah, have you seen people in the supermarket who pick their oranges up and then put them in a plastic bag? Yeah, so have I. I think that's weird. Do you think that's weird? Some of the grown-ups here probably do it. You know, and oranges have got their own natural wrapper, really, haven't they? So we don't need to go and put it in another plastic bag, you're right, yep.
Buy loose fruit and vegetables.
Yep.
Bring your own containers to fish, meat and deli counters and ask for your items to be packed inside. So you can bring your own plastic containers. So instead of them putting it in their own plastic disposable bag, you can ask them to put it in your tubs.
Like an old ice cream tub or Tupperware or something, yep.
Fill eco bricks with single-use plastic.
Eco bricks, yep.
You can put crisp packets, sweet wrappers, food bags, lots of non-recyclable plastic.
Yep.
Bring a bag and a disposable glove when you're out on your walk. If you see rubbish on the beach or pavement, pick it up.
Okay.
And remember to tell your family and friends what you are doing to cut down on your use of single-use plastic so they can do the same.
Okay, so that's what you've been doing, really. You've been telling us what you've been doing to help us to do the same thing, haven't you? I think some other things that people might like to think about might be how much they use their cars. And also, if you've got investments, then you're very blessed, but perhaps you could think about whether they're in ethical or environmental charities or in things that pollute. So you might want to talk to maybe your financial advisor about that sort of thing. Fair trade as well, very important. It's interesting, isn't it, that we eat, drink, relax and be merry, like it says in that Bible reading, but we don't really think about the plastic bottle that we're drinking out of quite often.
And sometimes when you go to the tip and put things in the tip, sometimes they just bag them up and send them to other countries.
Now that's interesting, isn't it? So sometimes our waste just goes on great big shipping containers and things to other places and they receive our waste. Yeah, that's not good, is it? And our oceans, and that perhaps then they're not as good as disposing of them as we are. And the thing about climate change as well is that it disproportionately affects poorer countries, so countries that rely on the land. It's about mission really for us as Christians. It's about serving the other people in the rest of the world. And actually, if climate change happens, it's going to be catastrophic for people in third world countries, much more than it is for us. So it's about us caring for people in other countries as well that we perhaps don't see. Yeah.
There's also a new law come in, I think from I don't know when, around this time, where you cannot sell plastic straws.
Oh, I've heard about that. So there's a new law about not having plastic straws, or I think it's plastic cotton buds and things as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't sell them.
You can't sell them anymore. That's brilliant, isn't it? And I bet that law has come about by people campaigning. So that's another thing we can do. We can actually write to our MPs, or we can go on campaign sites. We can look up what Greenpeace are doing or other charities, can't we? And actually think about where we're giving our money in terms of our charitable giving as well. Brilliant. Is there anything else you want to say about your friends or Chatterbox people? How about Amring Station?
Oh, we have put up display boards at Amring Station with different things you can do, and we've made things out of plastic bottles and things like that. Like Claire's made a piggy bank out of...
Look at this.
Out of a plastic bottle.
Well, there's a big planter.
Yeah, there's a big planter, and that was made out of eco bricks.
Made out of eco bricks like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got plants in it. We've got it in the church half an hour. We're going to put it in front of the church hall so everyone can see it, and hopefully put a notice on the notice board as well so people can see what we're doing. So what would be the best thing that could happen today out of us chatting? What would you like to see? What would be the best thing that people could do in response, do you think?
If people did one of these things, like if they were going to the shops after, have a look, and if you've got something in your trolley or something that has plastic, try put it back and try get something that doesn't involve plastic.
Okay, well I reckon we can all promise to do that, can't we? We can all promise not to take the plastic thing, take something different. We also actually can get milk in glass bottles in Rustington. I don't know if you realise that. The old-fashioned milk float comes round to Rustington, so you might want to think about that as well, glass bottles for your milk. And there's lots of things. So Ella's for Lifestyle, Hope Jones Saves the World.
And there's also a new book coming out by Josh Lacey, who wrote Hope Jones Save the World, called, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a new book.
A new book by Josh
Lacey.
Josh Lacey. Okay, so we can all read that as well. Brilliant. So if everyone's watching online does this as well, you can give them a wave. I don't know which camera they're on, but give them a wave.
Somewhere.
And we can get this message out to everyone, then maybe this church could do something really special for God and make this world a much better place. I can't high-five you. We'll do a virtual one. And I'm sure everyone will want to give you a huge clap for speaking this morning. Thank you.